be the coolest trend of the year, and it's something called the winter arc. So essentially, the winter arc is a trend that encourages people to use the last 3 months that are usually cold, cloudy, gloomy, wintry. You just want to sit inside to actually better yourself both mentally, physically, and spiritually, just building up that consistency and discipline, so that way, instead of it's not new year, new me, it's already you are a better version of yourself, and you don't have to start January 1st. I mean, what better of a time to start than right now? And as someone that always struggles with seasonal depression, because I actually lived in sunny Florida before moving up to New Jersey because my husband is in the Coast Guard, seasonal depression hit me like a semi-truck, and I'm so excited to actually use these last few months, instead of feeling gloomy and just wanting to sit inside, to better myself. So let's go ahead and grab a notebook and a pencil, and let's set some goals for winter arc this year. So let's be a little realistic and not set like 30 goals, because your girl wanted to set like 30 goals at first. I was like, oh, I want to run a marathon. I want to move across the world. I want to do this and that and that. And I was like, how am I going to do this? So let's be realistic. Let's set 5 goals. And if that's a little bit too much for you, set 3 goals. 3 goals or 5 goals that you can follow. But for the first goal, and maybe some inspiration for you, is I want to follow the animal-based diet. So the animal-based diet is essentially I don't want to call it a diet. Let's call it a lifestyle. The animal-based lifestyle is essentially just cutting out all of those overly processed foods and trying to eliminate the toxins that are unfortunately in so much of the foods that we eat here. It's crazy. I was actually in Canada like a few weeks ago, and whenever I was eating like the fast food and all of those things, my stomach didn't hurt nearly as much as whenever I eat food here. Like, it was crazy. I remember we went to A&W and I had a burger, and usually burgers at fast food joints just destroy my stomach, and I was totally fine. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, the oils and stuff that we use here are just so rough on our bodies. So it's essentially just trying to cut out all of those processed and those seed oils, and instead replacing them with grass-fed meat, with grass-fed cheeses, with A2 dairy, which also I want to say is crazy, because I thought I was lactose intolerant my whole life, and it turns out I was just A1 sensitive. This might not be the case for everyone, of course, but A2 dairy is supposedly easier on digestion, and I found that true for myself, so I thought that was really cool. I actually have my little latte right here that I put A2 whole milk, some maple syrup, and just espresso. Super simple, but not sure if maple syrup is really on the animal-based lifestyle, but raw honey is. So usually I use raw honey on stuff. You can have sweet potatoes, white rice. I'll put like kind of like a little diagram right here. And there is 2 versions. So there's the animal-based one where it's strictly just eating animal products. And then there is the animal-based with what I'm following, where it does still allow fruits and stuff like that. However, for me, everyone's different, of course, but for me, I personally am not going to be super strict about this. I really do struggle with, sometimes I'll let things just control me, and I'll get so anxious and nervous about things. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but I will just overthink everything, and I won't let myself have fun anymore. I'll just think about how bad ice cream is and all those things, and I still do believe that you need balance in your life. So I'm primarily trying to follow the animal-based lifestyle, but of course, if friends want to go out for food or whatnot, I'm not going to let that control my life. But of course, everyone's different. If you can fall in strictly on that lifestyle, that's awesome. I totally encourage that. But for me, I'm going to mostly try to follow it, but every once in a while, I need ice cream. And you can have, I know that there is like recipes where it is animal-based ice cream, which is pretty cool, but I'm just talking about like I might need a Ben & Jerry's, you know what I mean? But okay, so the foods allowed on the animal-based diet is essentially a lot of beef, like grass-fed beef and grass-fed bison, venison, and sheep. You want to limit your pork, chicken, and turkey intake, which is going to be hard for me, but you can eat some pasture-raised chicken. Like, if you are eating those still, I would say try to go for the pasture-raised options, which is what I'm going to be doing. I'm doing my best with that. Of course, I'm not always going to be able to be perfect, but I'm just going to try my best to just eat like those whole foods and not processed foods like Lay's potato chips and all of those things. They're wonderful every once in a while, but I'm just trying my best to eliminate those as much as I can out of what I'm eating, because honestly, I've noticed such a difference. So that's what that is. And then for the carbohydrates It's organic fruits that are in season, raw honey, milk, cheese. Oh, and maple syrup is allowed on there. So it's essentially eliminating all those vegetable oils like canola, safflower, sunflower, soybean, grapeseed, and sesame. I've been eating a lot of cucumbers and zucchinis and squash. And apples, just pretty much all of the fruits are good. The vegetables are a little bit iffy. I'm still trying to figure out the vegetables. I don't know how I feel quite about eliminating all the vegetables out of my diet except for like squashes, because I do love some broccoli. So I was thinking maybe I'll try to get them from like the farmer's market. But yeah, so that's the animal-based diet. So I encourage you maybe to start off with some sort of nutritional goal that you can try to do, like whether that's trying to eat more at home, because not only does that save money, it's also obviously allows you to eat a little bit less processed foods because you know what you're making. So maybe your first goal could be a nutritional goal. That is what mine is for the first goal. My second goal is to stick to a workout schedule 5 days a week. So this might sound a little bit crazy. 5 days a week is a lot. If you're new to working out, I encourage you to start maybe just with 3 days a week, just something easy, because you just can't go straight into it. And for me, when I say 5 days a week, it's not always going to the gym. For me, I just want to follow just a strict 4 days in the gym and then 1 day maybe just going for a run outside. But I want to make sure that I'm getting my legs, I want to make sure I'm getting my upper body, and sometimes I like to do just like full body HIIT workouts or Pilates workouts. I just like to work out in a way that I'm feeling that day. I used to feel like I needed to follow this strict and regimented schedule, and of course everyone's different, but for me, I've just found it so much more enjoyable to just kind of, if I want to do Pilates, do some Pilates. If I want to do a HIIT workout, do a HIIT workout. As long as I'm moving my body, that's what's important. We need to move our bodies because that is what makes us healthy and it makes you feel so much better. Just know though that you don't have to force yourself to move in a way you don't want to. Like if you don't want to go for a run, that's totally okay. Go for a light walk, go for a podcast walk, listen to some music, just feel the vibes, just move your body because your body deserves that movement and that love and you deserve that. For the third thing, and I encourage you maybe to set some sort of business goal or career goal or just a motivational goal. For me, it's to upload 1 YouTube video a week. And let me tell you, I know that doesn't sound like much, but I, for the longest time, stopped posting on YouTube because I would overthink it to like the max. I would literally record a video and be like, surely no one wants to watch this. Like, what am I doing? I don't know how to do YouTube at all. Like, I should just, it'll just be easier if I don't do it because then I can't say I failed. And if you're feeling like that about anything in your life, stop. Like, you are so worthy. You can do this. You are not helpless. You are not unloved. You are so loved and you can do it. So seriously, try. And the reason that I am trying to upload 1 YouTube video a week is because it's always been my dream to just be able to build a community online for people all across the world. Because let me tell you, a year ago, Bryson and I, we got married and we got stationed in Cape May, New Jersey. My husband is in the military. He gets out in about 2 years, but right now he is in the military and it's been really hard adjusting. I graduated this winter. I moved here and there was no jobs. I went to school for communications. Essentially, obviously I live in a small beach town. It literally is like so remote, like desolate in the winter. It's beautiful, but there are no communications jobs or marketing jobs. And so when I got here, I was so sad. I got here in winter and the start of seasonal depression hit and everything. And I was really struggling, and being a military wife, it's just like, I don't know. It was just so hard because Bryson would go to work every single day and I would just clean the house over and over again. Like, we don't have kids, we just have dogs. So I would clean the house, I would meal prep for us, but I was like, you know what? I would listen to these podcasts of these girls just talking and vibing. Like, I loved listening to these girls, and I was like, I love how they make people feel like they're not alone, and I want to be that for you. I want to be best friends. I want this to feel like we're literally just on a FaceTime call or a Skype call if you have an Android. Like, I just want to feel like we are all friends and we are there for each other. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna start filming YouTube videos. Like, Bryson gave me a camera. And here we are. I am starting to do YouTube. I also do UGC work on the side, so I work completely from home, of course. I don't want to be one of those people that's just like a stay-at-home wife and cleans all the time. Like, that's wonderful if that's for you, but for me, I have to do something. So I started this YouTube channel. So my goal is to upload one YouTube video a week, and I can't wait to grow with you guys. The fourth goal is to read 3 books a month. And I know that sounds so crazy, but I have gotten back into the rhythm of reading, and I seriously encourage you guys to at least try reading like maybe 1 book a month or 1 book every 2 months. It's honestly so amazing to just take a break from looking at the screen and instead read like a book. Right now I am reading, let me grab it for you guys. This is what I'm reading currently. It's called How to Stop Time by Matt Haig, and it's super, super good. It's basically just a fictional novel basically about this guy who actually does not age. He has this condition where he literally stopped aging, I think at like 13 years old, and so he's constantly having to basically live new lives over and over, so people don't realize like he's not aging, like what's wrong with this guy, and the scientists and government, everything, don't come after him. And basically the one thing that he can't do every time he gets a new life, like he literally gets a new life every single 8 years, so people don't recognize him. Like, he might live in London for 8 years and go under the name like Alex, and then he has to move to like the US for the next 8 years and go by Simon, so people don't recognize who he is. It's part of a society called the Albatross Society, and that's who gets him those new identities. I hope this makes sense. I'm not too great at summarizing things. But anyways, the one rule that he has in this society is that he cannot fall in love, because obviously if he falls in love, then he risks endangering the person. And so basically it's just him moving through his lives and his many, many lives in the society and saving others that are also in the same condition, and also potentially falling in love at the moment. So yeah, it's a really good one. I also loved his book called The Midnight Library. I also read The Story of Arthur Truelove, which was a super, super cute, cozy novel. It was basically about this older guy and this younger girl who are both kind of just experiencing loss in their lives. The younger girl lost her mother whenever she was younger, and the older man just lost his wife, and they meet in the cemetery and they just hit it off as friends, and they just kind of adjust and find happiness again together. So it's super, super cool. And then the other book that I read, which was so good, it was called The Herbalist. I can't remember exactly the name of the author, but it was so, so good. It was basically about this woman who had an engagement, lived in New York City, was super, super successful as a professor there, and then her engagement got broken off, and she moved to England, this small little cozy town where her family was from, and she inherited her, I believe, her grandma's house, and she becomes an herbalist, which is essentially kind of like a, honestly, almost like a good witch that would heal people in the town with natural remedies, and she just kind of know exactly what they needed for whatever illness or ailment they had. So it was a super cute, cozy, and also romance novel as well. So that was also another really good read. So yeah, I'm almost finished with this, which is my 3rd book of this month, and then I'm going to figure out my next 3 books for next month. So feel free to comment below if you have any book recommendations. I love cozy books, I love fiction books, I love young adult books. Like, I'm actually 5. I don't love too much of spice in my books. I like more like closed door books. So any recommendations you guys have, please feel free to drop them below. 5th and final goal that I have is to follow a skincare routine. So I'm talking about just a super simple skincare routine that I can follow both in the morning and at night, and that I can keep up with, because I have been so bad for the longest time of actually sticking to a skincare routine. So that's gonna be really important for me. I believe I'm gonna do face wash, a toner, I've got vitamin C serum, I've got caffeine solution, and then just a face lotion, and also using sunscreen every day. So that is my goal for the skincare routine. Those are my 5 goals, and if you have some written down, please feel free to comment them below, because I can't wait to hear about what your winter art goals are for this coming year. Honestly, it'll be so awesome, because by the time the New Year's rolls around, we'll already be in the gist, and the people that are deciding to start on New Year's will literally just be starting then. So what better of a time to start than right now? I'm going to be posting weekly updates about the winter arc routine and my progress, the ugly, the beautiful. You know, I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's not always gonna be easy. I'm fully prepared. So stay tuned. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, love you guys, and I'll see you next time.